claims everything was expected to be straight. It's like the scenes on Wayne.
My name is Paul James. I host News every morning.
And the Golden Angel Award ceremony.
Hello, dear friends, my lovely audiences. Welcome to the East-West Show. Jack Chow on the East-West with my friend Ken Hemming. During the pandemic, Mr. Ken Hemming has been brave enough to stay with me ever since day one. And now he's even more enthusiastic when we started to see the twilight. The twilight being that the restaurants are prepared to be opening up. I'm so hungry about it. I decided to eat a big one, to eat a big time. To any of the big good restaurants. Absolutely. Or something like that, right? I believe lots of folks are preparing to do the same thing, like I do. However, nothing comes out for no reason.
True.
And this is a result that we all work together, and this is a result of our first responders. Speaking of whom, 2 days ago, I had a wonderful show with Dr. Mary Tahiri and Dr. Alan Chang. Both are first responders. And of course, our folks who carry the constant flow of our life.
That's true.
Even including the waste management people.
Yeah. Oh, I love them.
Okay.
You're right.
And every Tuesday, I see them passing by my house.
Yeah.
I talk to them.
Yeah.
In the distance, I salute to them. Whatever. I respect them.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so what do you have for for today's pandemic update?
Well, one thing I'd like to say, if I may, and I'm also share with your viewers, I'm honored to be here with you. This is where I belong on planet Earth right now. And I was in traffic on the freeway coming out here again, which is a peak to normality coming back. So I'm excited when there's traffic, because people are out. So once we get open again, we'll be back in terrible traffic.
Remember in the very early days of the quarantine or the social distancing?
Yes, sir.
And it was you who mentioned to me, have you noticed there are much less traffic on the freeway?
You're just flying on the freeway, lonely.
Yeah, you can fly on the freeway.
Not lonely anymore. Not lonely.
Riley's coming back.
Yeah.
There's lots of stuff coming back. And this morning I noticed that because you probably noticed about increase every day.
Yeah, right.
Every single day.
Yeah. I don't leave my house every day, but every time I do, it's more and more now.
That's a good sign.
I love
That's a good sign.
I love it. Yeah.
Okay.
So yesterday I had the honor of watching a cabinet meeting of President Trump. Okay, where he had his cabinet all there for a meeting, and everybody that was making certain comments about their specialty, the area that they're responsible for America. And then one thing that was very, very moving, and this was really nice because the whole country could see what happens in a cabinet meeting if they want to. But then there was a lady who was an assistant to one of the cabinet members, who was a medical doctor plus a psychiatrist, and a very moving person. She moved my soul. She read a 2-page letter she had written, comments, where she talked very, very convincingly about the virus makes some people sick, has a way less than a 1% mortality rate. And she's talking about what's happening when we're not having the hospitals open for other medical procedures, the psychological problems on people, the alcohol problems, the drug problems, spousal abuse. And she very convincingly says, right now we have more people suffering from the lockdown than we have living and being than dying from the virus.
Yeah, of course.
And Trump was there, and I thought he could have reacted more positively and more aggressively with it. What she said, I mean, I'm sitting there and just kind of tears almost come to my eyes.
You want to hear my comment on that?
I would love to.
I saw that too.
Did you?
Yeah, of course. I did agree with her, and I would say 100%. However, I would like to add my understanding, my explanation to this, okay? number one, what we are doing has shown the positivities, right? The positive side of as a result, right? There are less people dying by following
Every day.
what we're doing.
Yeah.
Remember many weeks ago, when Donald Trump says that one of the reporter asked that, what is in your mind the most ideal number of
Acceptable,
death?
yeah.
Acceptable, no,
Right.
ideal,
Yeah.
most ideal number of death. And he was so quick-minded enough to find out that was a trap.
Sure. No, they
And
can't
he
trap
said,
him.
to me, one is too many,
Right.
right?
The number
Okay.
0.
All right, good. Number is 0. Okay, now, with that, you only see as after.
Yes.
At the time of beginning, in the very beginning, though, nobody could foresee what we see now.
Correct. And what they did try to foresee through modeling was totally inaccurate.
Yeah.
Totally
The
worthless.
numbers are blocked.
Right.
Informations are not correct, and so on and so forth.
Right.
All of a sudden, everything happens within a week.
Yeah.
1 week time.
Yeah.
Within 7 days. So everybody has lost their orientation, so on and so forth.
true.
And nobody can say, hey, take me accountable. Okay, don't do anything what you do now. Nobody can say that. And Donald Trump was brief enough to be the first one to stop the air flights
Beautiful. January 31.
during the January 31.
Yes, sir.
And lots of people, even the WHO, say, no, he was overdoing it, and so on and so forth. Right?
Everybody,
now
all
you
his
look
advisors,
back, he
yeah.
was right.
It was
Now,
brilliant.
At this moment,
Courageous.
when you sit on today's floor
Yeah.
to talk about whether it's right or wrong to do so,
Right.
at the very beginning, that's unfair to Donald Trump.
Well, they want to be unfair to him. Yes, you're right.
No. I mean, talking about the lady.
Yeah, okay.
The lady. One of his own cabinet, right?
Oh.
So now, I'm talking about to say what she says from the bottom of my heart, from the care of the average Americans, she was right. She was totally right. However,
Yeah.
to blame.
Oh, she wasn't. I don't think she was
No.
blaming him. Yeah.
But the
Okay.
side effect, lots of people, especially people on the left-hand side, took that as a criticism.
Yeah, and I didn't, because I took that as
No, of course you
as
didn't.
completely explaining why it's mandatorily necessary to move ahead and get open again and get people outside and get people back making money. And so I thought it was he couldn't if he'd have read it, he couldn't have said it better than she did. She was brilliant, but of course then they spin it. Okay, they spin it, and that's what they do. You know, it was a clear description of why we need to open up.
Yeah,
And it was beautiful.
Opening up is one thing.
Yeah.
All right. To say where we have overdone it is wrong, totally wrong.
Well, I didn't really hear her saying that we overdid it. I think we have overdone it, but it's time. We could just sum it up. It's time to get people back.
I agree.
Yeah.
Nobody argued
was
with
beautiful.
the opening up.
She was
Nobody
brilliant.
argued with the reopening up.
Well,
right. Well, the fact is that we still have to emphasize on the fact that we have to, number one, follow social distances.
But
Number
not
two,
forever.
I'm not saying forever.
Right,
Let me
right.
finish.
No, that's fine.
I'm saying that do it for time being at least, all right?
Yeah.
All right? And wear face masks wherever you see fit.
When you see
It's
fit.
necessary.
Right.
All right?
I do to go into
And
Ralph's.
wash your hands. Does it hurt you to wash your hands?
Feels good.
Of course,
Yeah.
right? Those are the necessary steps, necessary measures
Yeah.
you are still supposed to be taking.
Yeah. That's correct. But now, so anyway, just watching all the comments from the different people, very, very interesting. And then he also had representatives at a different meeting from the restaurant industry, which has gotten 8 or 9
Yeah,
million
speaking
people.
about California, it's almost the same thing.
California's
Governor Newsom, I believe, has done a good job, even though I'm not a supporter of him, but he has done a good job so far.
How? I don't see it.
Okay, now you may not agree. Let me finish.
Of
all right?
course, yeah,
Okay,
well,
now
you could teach me.
But so far, right now, at this very moment, though, he is losing up himself. He is losing up California control itself.
Not LA County at all.
LA County, even though saying reopen July the 4th, they are preparing some restaurants to open. In other word, there is a little difference in between extent of reopening. The word reopening is a big word on the table.
Let me ask this question, Jack. Why do these politicians, more Democrats than Republicans, that get the joy out of restricting your ability for your freedom to go to church and to make a living and to feed your family, why are they still paid? It seems to me they should be sacrificing the same as we are.
Once again, my dear brother Cam.
Yes, sir.
You are back to the trap of your own.
Okay, good. I like
I
it.
said in the very beginning
Yeah.
that in the beginning, when the first pandemic hit, everybody understood, everybody agreed, we did have to do something.
No, that's fine. But
All right?
they wanted.
And now you're waking up, you're looking back, say that, hey, at least a part of it was not necessary. That's unfair to everybody.
what it may be the truth, though. Don't forget.
Yeah,
The
of
truth
course,
always
of course,
has
of course,
value.
of course.
Fair's not a
Now
good word.
I'm 5'8",
Yeah, okay.
right? You're blaming my mother, saying that giving him more food, he will be 8 foot tall.
That's true. Your mommy. Bad.
Yeah, that's not fair to my mom.
That's true. Okay.
Given the condition, my mom could have given
Yeah,
me
okay.
only that much food.
Okay.
All right?
All right, let's move
So,
on.
all right, let's move. Let's talk step by step. Let's move on to take a moment out, please. All right, thank you. I like the argument, but when we argue, we do argue. Points are made clear, all right?
From our heart.
We'll be right back, please.
Everything expected. Continue to work on
My
it now.
name is Paul James. I host English News every morning.
And a golden angel award ceremony.
Hello, dear friends, my lovely audiences. Welcome back to the show. Jack Chow, your host, who is working very hard with my team all together, plus with my dear friend Ken Hemming, going through out of the pandemic. It looks that we're almost out, or we will be out soon. We're talking about the fact what is the most important issue at this very moment. Of course, you either die of the pandemic, you or die in no business, die
Well,
of poverty,
And we really can't let that
die
happen.
of no food, so on and
That's
so
right.
forth.
We
right?
can't let
Good.
that happen.
But it was a period in the very beginning, though, we did not know which is which.
Right. And so we did what they thought was
Now
necessary
we know.
at the time.
Now we know. We say, hey, it's time to open.
Yeah.
However, that doesn't mean you could go back to blame the first part we did.
No, that's fine. But right now,
All right.
if we want
Let's pass, all right?
Yeah, that's
we
fine.
we got agreement
Yeah.
on that.
But now, one thing you said about Newsom, okay? Here's the thing: California, he's a very obviously liberal. He wants to give $125 million to illegals, okay? I definitely do not support that. You do. That's fine. It's my money. I'm a man of law, and so I'm not going to
In
support
other words, when I say somebody does his job good,
Yeah.
does his job well,
Yeah.
I'm not saying this person is flawless.
Yeah, right. He's also.
I'm not saying
yeah.
this is a 100% right.
In the budget for California now is like a $54 billion
The same
deficit.
thing as you say, Jack Chow.
Yeah.
I'm mostly a good man most of the time.
My role model.
I'm not saying that, and you even convince yourself that I'm not 100% perfect, right? So now, This is issue number one.
Yeah.
Issue number two, as to illegals.
Yeah.
On regular days, with regular situations, I support a philosophy and I support the rule saying that this is the benefit for the legal, and the illegal does not get our benefit. Right now, all of a sudden, when something hit, say we're in a flood,
Okay.
all right?
Sure.
And then we want to save everybody.
Yeah, you can't just pick them out of the water that
Yeah,
are,
you
that are
can't
legal.
tell which is which. Hey, take this out of water
Right.
and let the guy die. Okay, that's illegal. Okay, they deserve to die. They deserve to
I
die.
know.
Okay, let's pick up. You can't
No.
make your choices.
And nobody would do that.
All right. By giving whatever you quote unquote, you said to the illegal, their benefit though,
Right.
is a measure given at this specific time when we are getting drowned in the water. Can you or would you agree with me?
I don't think our tax money, it is illegal, by the way, constitutionally illegal to give taxpayer money, our federal funds, to illegals.
You
for
may
these
argue with
kind-
me.
Yeah, well,
you
that's
may
also
argue with me as
constitutionally.
in the long run, as a constitution, even the constitution, right,
Mm-hmm.
doesn't say you can go ahead just to play whatever you want, just being illegal.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
You can say that, right?
They don't have rights under-
However,
they don't have
under
rights.
the guideline of humanity, we're talking humanitarianism now,
Mm-hmm.
right? At the time hit, right? When God made the Noah boat, God didn't say that you take the illegals out, okay? Just to put all the legal people from Jerusalem to the boat.
Well, Jack, the only reason they want to give all this money is so they can try to get them to be a citizen and get their vote because you gave them something. That's the only reason. That's
You
their-
may analyze.
that's their agenda.
You may analyze in different ways.
But now-
I have no problem
Yeah,
with that.
Now, Newsom, though, because we have this terrible budget thing, because we've been fiscally mismanaged in California's finances
Oh
for
yes,
decades.
that I agree.
Very much so. And then of course, the Democrats, Pelosi's $3 trillion plan to catch up all of the bad management fiscally of the states, which is not going to happen.
Regardless of how crazy California has been abusing its money, its budget,
Very bad.
whatsoever,
Right.
that very moment of talking about the pandemic,
Yeah.
talking about that money, the
pandemic,
the
is fine.
stimulus money,
Right.
I believe he is not to be blamed.
No, but they want to go way beyond that, like money for unfunded pension liabilities, whatever. But what his thing,
that's another
Okay, but
story.
his thing is, okay, here's what I'll do to try to save some money. Number one, I'll close the 3 juvenile prisons in California.
Oh,
that
no.
means let them all out, and
No,
then
no.
more people are
That I
murdered
do
and
not
raped.
agree.
Okay, and also then to reduce the parole period from 5 years to 2 years,
No.
because you have to have parole officers.
I
follow-
will never agree.
Yeah, but that's what he wants. And the other thing he said, and I'll have to start laying off first responders rather than other unnecessary. So
Governor-
he's trying to use it. The people that should be protected their jobs the most, which are police
right.
and fire,
You're
he
right.
says, I'll have to lay them
I
off.
agree with
That's
you.
just insane.
I agree with you.
So it's,
And look back into history, Governor Brown had made
Yeah.
a big mistake by his creation of AB 109,
yes, sir. Yes,
right?
sir.
And then Proposition 47,
Yeah.
and then for Proposition 57,
Yeah.
and it goes on and on and on and on until we're surrounded by the earlier release of the jailmates.
Yeah.
Until Officer, what is his name, Boiler,
Okay.
right, was assassinated on the street. Until another officer in San Francisco was killed by one of them.
There's been many
right?
murders, rapes,
and because of
robberies.
the 109, AB 109,
Yeah.
because of the Proposition 47, because of Proposition 57, Governor Brown had his bad time. He had learned, I believe he had learned what he had to pay.
Yeah.
No. Well, I don't agree, anybody would agree to Governor Newsom to close the juvenile jail, they are even more dangerous.
That's what he wants to do. Yeah. By the way, one thing that's kind of funny, Jack, some of these robberies, when somebody goes in and robs a 7-Eleven or something, they can't see the face. They got these masks on.
Oh, yeah.
It's so harder now because, you know, when you had the videos and that, you could identify people and catch the bad guys. Now that everybody, you don't know who's good or bad walking in. It's kind of stupidly funny.
It used to be illegal
Yeah.
to walk
with
into a
mask.
bank
Yeah.
with a face
Oh,
mask.
yeah, exactly.
Now at the
Yeah.
door,
Yeah.
you're asked to wear a face mask,
Yeah.
or otherwise they will not let you in.
Yeah, yeah.
Time has changed, my brother.
Well, we got to get back because, you know, we all have faces, okay? We all look different, which is good, but our face is a big part of our impression in our life. We can't hide our face for the rest of our life.
Time has
it's
changed.
Ridiculous.
Time has changed. Time
It'll
has
change
changed.
back.
Right.
Because some people are going to die of something anyway. All right, so some will die of whatever little things there are, but the death rate on
We
this
noticed
is
that
tolerable.
Donald Trump has never worn a face mask.
Well,
has he?
something big's going to come up. He's going Thursday, which I guess is tomorrow, I think, to Detroit, and to it's either a Ford plant, I think. And the Ford plant said, now anybody that visits our plant has to have a mask on. We'll see whether he does or doesn't. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing that.
And speaking of that, though, we need to talk about Donald Trump taking that medication, the malaria
This is
medication.
huge. Hydroxychloroquine.
Hydropoxy.
Yeah,
Hydropoxy.
No, it's
what is that?
yeah.
Well, whatsoever.
Yeah,
It's a very, very.
hydroxychloroquine.
It's a mile long name. anyway.
Hydroxychloroquine. Now, here's the thing.
Yeah. No, hydroproxy.
It's yeah.
Chloroquine. Yeah.
Okay, something like
with
that.
a zin at the end. Right.
So when when he was opening up to questions and with the media, and then he started talking about, you know, things that can help fight this virus and that, and he just comes out and he says, well, I think that hydrochloroquine or hydroxychloroquine can be helpful, and it appears to have no harmful side effects. And he says, I'm taking it. Everybody, ooh. And he says he's been taking it for about 2 weeks. His doctor at the White House worked with him, and they decided that was okay. And also, like the head of the VA said, they issue 42,000 doses of that every day.
And working.
Yeah, to veterans in the veterans hospitals. And then, of course, then the media goes crazy. Well, because like if Obama was taking it, they'd say, oh, that's so brilliant. That's good. Yeah, nice going, okay, or Clinton. But now that it's Trump, then they're just trying to slam him. And then Nancy Pelosi, who's not my favorite, says, well, I don't want President Trump to take that because we don't have enough scientific thing behind it. Plus, he's old and he's morbidly obese. Now, that's not so nice, okay? I mean, let me tell you, Nancy Pelosi, if he's morbidly obese...
Let's take a very short moment out.
Yeah.
I find this...
pretty
there's a little bit
serious.
we can meander within this area
It's serious.
to find more.
Yeah.
My dear friends, thank you for watching. We will be right back, please. Just bear with us.
Everything we have to continue to work on it now.
My name is Paul James. I host this news every morning.
And a Golden Angel Award ceremony.
Hello, dear audiences, my dear brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, my dear fellow Americans. We're talking about that this pandemic. We're doing our pandemic update, and in today's pandemic update, I have my friend Mr. Ken Hemming joining me, who is a brave fighter. Who fights with me along the way, always, ever since. So once again, welcome back to the show, right? With a lot of respect.
I love your mind, Jack. I love your
We
soul.
are on the specific point talking about Donald Trump taking the malaria medication, which is hydropoxy chloroquine.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, now, well, I finally got the name. Now, I would like to hear your own comment,
Yeah.
not a story.
Yeah, right.
The story on the news, everyone knows it, right?
Yeah.
So your own take. What's your own take about that?
Well, you know, I give the president, I don't know if this has any prophylactic, which means it can avoid you getting it, but I do know that there are many, many people that have said it has saved their lives once they had this. So I give him credit for doing his best to protect himself because he's the most powerful guy in the world and he needs to protect himself. So he, in coordination with his doctor, and his doctor issued a statement that yes, he prescribed that for President Trump. He believes it's very safe, that the potential benefits are far greater than the potential risk. And you know, I think it's just great. And why does somebody get such, you know, trashed for just trying to protect their ability to lead our country? Okay, and he said, I don't know how long I'll be taking it. It all depends on other therapeutics to treat the virus, a cure or vaccine. And there are really great progresses being made right now because the smartest people in the world from many countries are working on this. So it's beautiful. We're going to get over this. But so he made a good decision, in my opinion. I don't believe he'll get sick or die from it, which is important. And I think it might. There's a little chance it might defer a virus.
Okay, now, okay, good. Here's my comment.
Yeah.
All right. So I believe that I agree with you. All right. I want to add up a little bit.
Yeah.
And I would say this is a very, very emotional issue, right? And it's kind of even heart touching.
Well, that's right. It
Even
is.
heart touching, because you know, knowing his own age, right?
Yeah.
Knowing the country.
He's turning 74 this week.
Yeah, knowing this country, what this country is facing.
Yeah.
As the man, the only man, the leader of such a country, though, he does know, his health is so important to America.
Yes, and the world.
Right? Okay. Number one. Number two, as the president of the United States, I believe he deserves to have the number one doctors
Oh, and
or
he does.
physicians
Yeah,
of the global earth.
and he does.
Should there be anybody who is better than what he has, than who he has,
Right.
should go to his office and should attend him right away to make sure that United States, the leader, the commander of the United States, does not
Right.
fall
Excuse me, yeah.
off. Right now, given the two conditions, though, would the security that's
Yes.
governed by the number one humanly possible doctor,
Right.
and with the fact with such a job to do, an old man who feels his importance, the importance of his own health.
Right.
He took the risk. It was not nothing with risk. He took the risk.
There's always
to
risk.
do it for 2 weeks, I learned.
He said 2 weeks.
Yeah, for 2 weeks I learned. Right. That's something I have to give him a heartfelt plus.
Yeah, because we need him to do everything that he believes will keep him well. And yet,
In spite of the fact I have never been a supporter of his, I respect what he did, and I can tell him what he did is read by most Americans.
well, what you know, maybe you don't support his personality. I do, but you certainly support 3.5 unemployment.
Of course.
29,000. The results
Of course,
of his
yeah.
leadership
Yeah,
have
you and
created
I,
the
those
greatest
are the numbers you
in
and
the
I,
world.
those are numbers you and I remember to talk almost every time.
And that's why he'll be
Almost every
reelected
time,
in
right.
a landslide.
Now, a number 4 issue, let's talk about the concern of Nancy Pelosi. Up to now, to be fair, Nancy Pelosi had said nothing wrong about the fact that President Donald Trump is taking that medication.
Well, she didn't. As soon as she knew it,
No, I
she
know,
slammed
but
him.
she did not say anything wrong. My question is that,
Well,
let's be cheerleading, my friends. I called the cheerleading position for so many times. When Nancy Pelosi doesn't have said anything wrong
Mm-hmm.
of that. Just say, I'm concerned. Americans are concerned.
Right.
You are the president of the United States.
You don't have to
You should
call
not
them-
do that.
you don't have to
You
call
should
them-
not take your health to yourself. It is the health of the United States. That's her concern.
But you don't have to be nasty and say he's morbidly
No,
obese.
she hasn't
Also,
been.
She
She
said
hasn't
that.
been playing nasty on this very issue at all.
That's not true. She called him morbidly obese because he's taking it, and she thinks that's dangerous for him to take. Also, like for example, if I was President Trump and someone calls me that, even though maybe I'm morbidly obese myself, I don't know, but she's got at least hundreds of thousands of dollars in facial restructuring, in her
But
face.
she said it. But she said it mostly from the concern, from the worry, the trepidation.
She said it from hatred and a nastiness in her
She
soul.
might have used the wrong word, wrong term.
Right.
Why people wouldn't give her a moment of pass just to be a cheerleader? Just to remember last time at the closing time we talk about the pacifying,
Sure, yeah.
right? Why people can't do that?
People can, but the radical leftist Democrats can't. Because they only function for hatred
no.
and to destroy our president.
Just to talk, let's handle issues one by one.
Okay.
On this one, why could everybody chuckle off? That's it.
It wasn't funny. It wasn't funny. She's not funny.
All right.
But anyway, it's what it is.
All
Let's
right,
move on.
You're losing my respect on that one. On this one.
As
yeah.
long as I respect me, I'm happy.
What else you
I'm
want to move
happy.
on to?
There's very, very serious.
Oh, yeah, Dow Jones. Monday,
Okay, yeah.
Monday it got 900 uprise.
Right. Then it went down 390 yesterday, and it's up 400 today. And it was all because the good news about progress on a therapeutic and a vaccine.
On the vaccine.
Yeah, and then there was a report came out at the end of the day yesterday that was questioning the perfection of the testing that had the good results. But then the CEO, the chairman of the company doing this, Moderna, came out back with some more clarification that was very positive in nature, and the Dow's then it was up 390, 400 today.
Remember I said
We're back up to
Yeah,
24,500.
Remember last time I mentioned the fact that we should go back very soon because the conditions, the job,
Oh, yeah.
the manufacturers are there, right? Okay, now
yeah.
my philosophy. I don't know much about the Dow Jones or the financial thing.
Sure.
My naiveness is that as long as we can one day or all of a sudden gain some positive numbers,
Yes.
say 900,
In hope.
and the next day let it go for a few hundred.
Goes back a little.
It goes back a little, and then another
back.
chance pops up, boom,
Yeah.
another 1,000,
Yeah.
and we lose a few next few days, and then like snowballing.
Yeah. Like there used to, 1,000 people were dying a day or more in New York. So right now, the last couple of days, 105. So the trend of the deaths and everything is looking, lessening, which is beautiful. Also, there are more and more cases being discovered where somebody had it because we have so much testing, and they had it, and then they got over it, and they didn't even know they had it.
And the
So
vaccine
this
is on the
beautiful.
way.
Several
Right.
vaccines are about in July. They're going to be starting on human testing.
As long as I know that in California there's one pharmaceutical manufacturer,
Okay.
they are working, and that is the reason why we gained the 900 on Monday.
Yeah, well,
And right after that, in other words, another news came, say, at Howard University. There's
Howard? Yeah, right.
There's Harvard. I'm sorry.
Harvard, okay.
There's another research group
Uh-huh.
who is very hopeful of bringing this vaccine in even faster time.
See, and hope, which is the equivalent of attitude, is what moves the market. If you feel hopeless, because attitude is what is anticipated by the market.
That is exactly why I want to promote the cheerleading
Right. Well, in another good
cheerleading
sign
philosophy.
is like of all the unemployed, which is 30 million or something, 90% think
I
it's
know.
a temporary
I
deal.
know.
They all expect to be back
You might
to work.
take me. People might take me as naive for calling for cheerleading.
Yeah.
However, look at the Dow Jones. Look at the
Right.
stock exchange market thing.
Yeah.
It is totally nothing but a cheerleading thing.
And Trump is our cheerleader.
All right. Okay. Let's take a short moment now, my dear friend. And we have lots of issues. Yet there's
we
only.
do. here for another week.
There's only 60 minutes. We're not even done with the first page.
Yeah.
There's only 60 minutes in an hour. All right. Then we will be right back. Please.
Everything continue to work on it now.
My name is Paul James. I host this news every morning.
And the Golden Angel Award ceremony.
Hello, dear friends, lovely audiences. Welcome back to the show, Jack Chow on the East West with my dear friend, Mr. Ken Hemming, a philosopher, first of all, a book writer, even though a CPA for life, which makes him the number one professionals who can say his point on the financial front. But the fact is that he is a lover to the community, and he will he's willing to use all his brain, all his wisdom to help community with information. Politically, he and I, we're not on the same line. However, oh, by the way, we argue all the time. However, we support each other for their freedom, for his freedom, for my freedom of being free of speech.
Honest to yourself.
Right. Okay.
Right.
Very good.
Right.
Okay. Now, back to the issue, and we have a lot put up for this week. However, we have only, like I said, only 60 minutes per hour. We have to talk about Donald Trump versus Joe Biden. How about that?
Yes, sir. You know, one thing that's amazing now.
Where everybody is, please.
Yeah, well, way back in 2015, 2016, the last election, you know, Hillary Clinton was winning all the polls, and everybody said the day before the election she's got a 93% chance of being
Yeah, you're
elected.
right, you're right.
So basically, I have no respect, or my soul is not moved by poll numbers, because you could get an answer for any poll question.
There was
by
a
how
moment.
it's- yeah.
There was a moment that very night when she was even prepared for her victory speech.
Oh, if we all remember, she had $2 million committed for fireworks on the water near there, on the lake, on a river near there, and then she was going, if she won, she was going to come down through a glass ceiling, to kind of like the women breaking the glass ceiling, and kind of come down there as if an angel from heaven had just come to planet Earth. And then a couple days before, it wasn't so sure, so she canceled the $2 million in fireworks. And then that day, she canceled coming down from the ceiling because she didn't even have the decency to come out and congratulate the president until the next day.
At that time, I was not a supporter
that was bad.
to either of them, because on my page of voting, I left that page gone.
Yeah, and I hope and pray next time you
I
vote for someone.
Well, I still do not regret of leaving that page in blank, but this year I will.
Yeah,
You know, this year I will.
I hope so.
That I will.
and you can vote for whoever you want.
I will cast my vote to him,
Yeah,
to Donald Trump, because even though not a supporter, but I witnessed myself about what he has been doing is positive to the country.
to the country.
To the country. Very good.
In
So-
the option now then is Biden. Now Biden, there's a lot more stuff coming out about him and his son and corruption. Okay, we'll see what happens with that. There's a whole new thing that Ukraine released, a phone call with Biden and the president of Ukraine, where it was right in your face, quid pro quo. You either do this or I'm going to keep money from you and all this sort of stuff. So it's real bad, okay? But you know, if a Republican does one little thing a teeny bit wrong, they want to hang you. But if a Democrat, you know, takes a shot at you, and misses, okay, that's all right. But so now with Biden, he's been sequestered in his own basement, which is ridiculous. And then he comes in and tries to say some things. He has tremendous trouble reading the prompter, and he mispronounces things, and he says things like, I take truth over facts. Well, that's an idiot. I mean, so I think he has some, he's at 78. I think he's got, mental clarity problems. And I kind of feel, I don't support him in anything, but I feel sorry. He shouldn't be going through this and showing this so obviously to the people. So if he does win, okay, nothing's impossible. He could win. If he wins, he'll just be a puppet president to the rest of the radical left Democrats that he is allowing to control his mouth in everything he says, because he's all for this radical stuff now, just like the,
You mean Joe
socialists.
Biden?
Yeah, I mean he's saying everything that Bernie Sanders would want him to say, and so he'd be a puppet. He would not be able to, I believe, make sound decisions himself. He'd be a puppet president, and they would tell him what to do, and I worry about it. And there's no way I think that he would last.
How
through.
about the argument? How about the argument of the sex scandal?
Well, it's still there, and there's more information coming
But you
out.
hear less.
Well, that's because most of the noise comes from the media that doesn't care what he does. They don't care if you did, if you're corrupt or if you abused a woman. They don't care because that's their agenda.
What's the name? Tara
Reid.
Tara Reid. Yeah.
And she told people at the time what happened, and I mean. I still can't understand how a man ever would do something like that. I mean, I'm a man.
And
I
compared to Joe Biden, if we do say that the Tara Reid scandal is still bothering him, what bothers Donald Trump is nothing else but how he gets the country out of the pandemic hit.
That's all Trump wants to do is protect citizens of America, health-wise, and then get back to economic strength.
To see the crystal ball, to look into the crystal ball, though.
Yes.
Do you think next 5 months will be enough for Donald Trump?
I believe President Trump. What's going to happen is in the third quarter, we're going to be opened up pretty good. Maybe we'll still have masks in the third quarter. Several schools are now saying kids can go back. Look, kids don't die from this, okay? I mean, kids get sick all the time. I mean, gee, my daughter says, Daddy, I got 3 kids, at least one's sick all the time. And so we'll get back. The time will come when masks are irrelevant. I think they're worthless now, but I wear one when I have to wear one to go in the store. If any continued positive progress on therapeutics for treating the virus or for a vaccine, the economy is just ready to explode. And
I
it's
have
going to. I think
I
it
have
will.
no doubt the American economy will come back.
It will.
And it is coming back,
It
right?
will.
I have no doubt of that.
Yeah.
My only doubt is about how soon.
Right.
I know that you pin lots of hopes on third quarter, but you're not
That's a
talking about.
transition, though.
But you're not talking about little boat.
No, it won't.
You
be,
can adjust it at any moment you want. The ship is too big.
Yeah.
It's too big
If
a
the
ship.
trend, though, is still positive in the third quarter, and then you have a month in the fourth
my
quarter.
question.
Yeah.
My question. During the third quarter, things are getting better,
Yeah.
yet not to the point to make every American see that we're coming back. So at that very moment, there comes the election day.
Right.
What if that happens by coincidence?
Well, if President Trump loses the election, America is toast. It will no longer have the freedoms guaranteed by our Constitution and Bill of Rights. It will be socialism going into tyranny. And that's exactly what they want people, you know, these radical people, that all goes back to Saul Alinsky's Rules for Radicals. I've read them on here before. I'd like to do that again in one of these things. And it's what Hillary Clinton worshipped Saul Alinsky, and these 12 rules for radicals are exactly what they're doing.
Okay, let Donald Trump be busy with his bringing United States economy back.
Right.
Let's check with Joe Biden.
Right. Now, okay.
Has Joe Biden gained enough ground to
I don't think, you know,
to join the contest?
well, here's what we're looking forward to, Jack. We're looking forward to a debate. There should be 3 of them with Biden and Trump. That's not a fair fight, okay? It'd be like me fighting Mike Tyson, and I'm Biden, and I wouldn't, because Biden, you know, I feel sorry for him. He just can't think on his feet. He's not smart enough to out-debate President Trump, who out-debated 16 quality Republicans that wanted to run for president last time. So there's also some things about maybe Biden will just refuse to have a debate, because the less he says, the more he's still a candidate. The more he talks, the more people realize that.
Well, if you do not debate, though, you're not winning.
Well, that's right.
You don't get the votes.
And the interesting thing is the Republicans want to have their convention with
the American
people.
voters are fed to such that I want to hear how you want to handle your job.
Well,
And you do the same thing, better be.
Right.
And then you guys, well, talk to each other.
Everything Biden's saying, he wants to raise taxes, okay? He wants open borders.
No. Talking about debatability,
Right, he doesn't have it.
the speech power,
He doesn't possess it.
or influence, right?
Yeah.
Personality.
Well, right now what's happening is President Obama, unlike any president ever in the history of America before, is coming out with his hatred for Trump and saying horrible things about our president. And no president's ever done that before. You know, you retire with dignity and you keep your mouth shut, all right? And he's not doing it. So he is right now Biden's mouth. He is saying what Biden's...
The Americans, after seeing what's happened in Donald Trump's hand for the past 3.5 years, though,
Unbelievable.
they will never go back to Obama, all right? And that is for sure. And number 2,
And that's what-
right now, Joe Biden is only a man of word because he cannot prove himself that he can do the job.
You know,
Now I'm saying that if Joe Biden further refuses to debate with Donald Trump, though, he is doomed to lose.
well, that's true.
All right, my dear friends.
That's true.
That's my reading, such as my reading anyway, but things change all the time, all right? Thank you very much, my dear friends, for watching, and we'll hope our fingers crossed to see what happens, and good luck to everyone. To my dear friend, Ken Hemming, thank you very much.
And God bless the freedom of your viewers and citizens.
God bless everybody.
Thank you.